Welcome to the Feast Life, where we empower you, the modern homeschool mom, to create a life and homeschool you love, one founded on faith, family, freedom, and fun. I'm your host, Julie Ross, creator of the award-winning homeschool curriculum, A Gentle Feast, and a certified Christian life coach. For more information on today's episode and to access my free gift for you, check out thefeastlife.me. Charlotte Mason once said, "Life should be all living, not a mere tedious passing of time." So on this show, we seek to savor the feast of life. Girl, grab your favorite beverage and pull up a chair. You are welcome at this table. Hello, welcome to the Feast Life. So, is balance in homeschooling even possible, or is this a myth we just keep chasing? If you've ever felt like you're spinning too many plates, wishing for calm in the chaos of homeschool and home life, then this episode is your permission slip to stop striving and start creating true harmony from the inside out. I'm going to dive into what balance really means. Just in case you're wondering, it's not a perfect checklist or a spotless kitchen, but it's a grounded, centered posture of heart and mind. And yes, you can find that even when the laundry is piling up. Tune into today's episode to discover the mindset shifts and practical systems that will help you cultivate peace and purpose into your daily rhythm without burning out. Let's dive in. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the harmony of a gentle homeschool. So, when we say balance or harmony, what are we actually talking about? Like at the beginning where I said, what is a good homeschool day? Well, what does that actually mean? So, can you put into words what is balance? Because we say, oh, I feel so out of balance. I feel so overwhelmed. Oh, I just wish I had balance between like my homeschooling and the rest of my life. I feel so out of sorts and I'm spinning too many plates. But we have a really hard time describing what balance actually is. So is balance like we checked off all the lessons for today and everyone ate and the laundry was done and there's no dishes left in the sink at the end of the day? Like, what does that actually mean? The way that we get that feeling sometimes can be controlled by our outer circumstances, but we can find that balance, that harmony within ourselves as well. Even if things are chaotic, I would say that is an amazing skill to be able to find the balance, the harmony, the calm, even in the middle of a storm. Now, there are things that we're going to talk about today that can help with some of that balance and harmony, but ultimately, what we want is that feeling. And we need to be able to create that feeling within ourselves, even if everything else is all over the place, which is why I gave you that book. And I can link to it again if you weren't here for day 1 or 2, that like Nourishing Habits book, because those practices, small little practices, can help us calm, recenter ourselves, and find that balance, even in the midst of really chaotic circumstances. So here are some ingredients for harmony. And we've talked about these throughout the week, so I'm just going to review these. Realistic expectations of yourself, your children, and your homeschool. There is nothing that will kill that balanced feeling than unrealistic expectations. That's why I said, like, we have to get actually clear. Like, what are we actually trying to do? What is our end goal? Okay, if we have these unrealistic expectations, we're going to feel out of balance because we never can achieve them. So having realistic expectations. Beware of the thoughts that you're thinking that are creating anxiety and worry within you. We talked about that on the first day. There is nothing that will drain your emotional stability, that will occupy so much of your thinking. There's nothing that will exhaust you more than fear and anxiety and worry. We don't realize how much of our days can be spent in these thought patterns. And so we are actually like wasting time by ruminating on these thoughts and, like I say, feeding these worries, feeding these anxieties, rather than remembering what our purpose is. That's why at day one, what do you believe is the purpose of education? Day two, being reminded of who we're partnering with in this educational process that we're doing, and learning to let those fears and worries not take root in our hearts. Another ingredient for harmony is be prepared. Nothing will make you feel more unbalanced than not being ready for the day. And it's so easy to go, okay, I just don't have time. Like, I never have time to get prepared. Okay. One of the things I say all the time is you have to make time to have time. Even just 5 minutes before you all have 5 minutes, 5 minutes before you go to bed to think about what do I have going on tomorrow. I spend 30 minutes on Sundays planning the next week. If you want to have that kind of calm, joyful feeling, being prepared gives you that confidence of going, oh, okay, I know what's happening. When everything is like a surprise and you feel like you're playing a game of whack-a-mole. I don't know if you guys ever played that, like in the arcade where you have the mallet and the little moles pop up. If you feel like this is your day and you're just putting out these little fires all day long, you're not going to have that calm, balanced feeling. So being prepared, even just a little bit, even just a few minutes, is going to save so much of your time and peace throughout the week. Okay, we talked about this the other day. In order to feel balance, sometimes we need to ask for help and we need to ask for support. We need to be willing to receive the help and support that's being offered to us and not push it away. And we also need to learn to delegate sometimes and let some things out of our hands and kind of let go of the control of some of these things and how they might turn out and let other people try to do them. We need to, and we're going to be talking about that even more today of how we can support people when we are delegating. But in order to find that balance, if you are trying to do everything yourself, you are never going to feel that feeling of that calm and that centeredness that you want. We talked about this yesterday. In order to feel balanced and have harmony in your homeschool, you need to be confident in your loving, healthy authority. That is your God-given role as the parent of these children in your house, and you can remain confident in that I've been put here for a reason. It's loving authority, it's healthy authority, it's not an autocracy like a dictatorship, as Charlotte Mason put it. It's not laissez-faire, it's being confident. And this is my role, this is what we're doing. Okay, we can waste so much time in negotiations with their kids about what we might be doing, when we're going to be doing it, how we're doing it. This is the plan and this is what we're doing, and not in a controlling or harsh way, but in a calm, loving, firm, yellow rock way. I saw in the chat, some of you were like, I'm going to paint some yellow rocks. I love that. Okay. Because that is such a time waster. It's also an emotional drain. When parents tell me that the biggest struggle in their homeschool is their kids' resistance, is because that is causing such emotional heartache in them. And it's causing them to feel exhausted because they're putting so much emotional time into it. And then I love this one. Cross stitch this on something, people. Done is better than perfect. Nothing will make you feel more out of balance than trying to get everything done perfectly. Sometimes good enough is good enough. And we could go, okay, yeah, that, the dishes are in the dishwasher. Are they in the dishwasher the way I would have put them in the dishwasher? No, but they're in. Let's run it. Let's move on to the next thing. Okay, we have to let go of some of that perfection in order to allow ourselves to receive help, but to have that balance, to have time for other things. Because again, perfectionism can be this never ending, always moving finish line that we don't even know what we're trying to get. But we just know this isn't good enough, so I'm going to keep doing it and doing it. Done is better than perfect. Okay. I have like whole courses on this topic, so I don't want to be here all night. So I'm going to give you a little bit about home life, but then we're all going to talk about mostly homeschooling. But in order to have harmony, balance, one of the things that has been the biggest gift for me is having systems, not rigid schedules, not things that like, oh, we have to do XYZ, XYZ. Not that. I don't mean it by that. Just a general process. So in business, they're called standard operating procedures. Okay. So this is how these things get done. So when I started at Gentle Feast, I had been teaching. I started a private Christian school. I've been homeschooling my kids. I didn't know anything about business. Nothing, right? None of this. And that started to become an issue a couple years ago. And I'm like, oh, like I can't hand any of this off to anybody because I'm the only one who knows where this thing is and that thing is. And so it's putting so much pressure and stress on myself. And a wise business coach told me I need to start creating standard operating procedures, which are just guides for all the things that I was currently doing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that would take 7 million years. I don't have time to write down everything I'm doing about everything. And they said, just start with one thing tomorrow, pick one thing that you're doing and write down what you did, or take a video of yourself doing it. And then that can become the operating procedure. And then you start to collect these. You're not going to write down everything all at one time. Okay. And then when I saw how amazing that was for my business, I was like, ooh, I could do this in the rest of my life too. I could do this for our home and for our school. And then I can start to delegate and hand some of these things off. But I'm not just saying, go do this to somebody. They have steps, they have a process, this operating procedure that they could follow. So there are lots of things that you all do. Can we just acknowledge like how amazing homeschool moms are? Like the ability to organize all the thoughts and all the people and all the things, and then all the home things. Like it's amazing what we are all thinking about and caring on a regular basis. And so even just getting one thing off of your plate by having an operating procedure or a system for it is really going to help. Not only does it help with delegating, but I found it has helped with me when I forget what I'm doing. I literally have a standard operating procedure for packing for trips. I love to travel, but like remembering what to pack would always stress me out, or I'd get there and be like, oh my goodness, we forgot the sunscreen again. And I'm like, why don't I make a general packing list for every trip? And then teach my kids, like, okay, this is how I think through what I'm going to pack. And these are the steps. And these, I use these packing cubes and these are the things. And so for the last trip that they took, like we literally, all the kids had like their basic packing list. And again, they're teenagers, but they could all pack themselves. And I was like, this is amazing. And so the goal is to get them to that point. Plus, you're giving them tools that are going to empower them in real life as well. So, writing through what you're doing, let me give you some examples that might help. Cleaning and laundry. This is the easiest one to start with. Okay. So, you can pick one thing that you do and video yourself cleaning the bathroom, for instance, or write down, these are the steps I do to do laundry. I sort the dark clothes from the white clothes, and then I put these clothes in. And oftentimes when we think of helping, getting our kids to help with chores, we're like, this would take way too long, or I have to train them forever. If you write it down or you take a video of it, they can watch it, they can come ask you for questions, but they're going to learn it a lot faster when they have something they can go back and reference. You could even do like voice to text, like talking into your notes app on your phone while you're doing it, and then turn that into a Google Doc or something like that. So it's so easy. I used to think this would take so long. It really did not. And it has saved me so much time. Meal planning, grocery shopping, batch cooking. These are things, all things somebody else can help you with if they know what to do. And we live in a day and age where there's Instacart and meal kits and all these different things that we can do, but we don't think through what are all the things I'm carrying and how can I get creative? What is out there even to help me solve this problem? It's amazing what things will come up. There's a lady at our homeschool co-op who makes like freezer meals. And so every Wednesday at co-op, she's out there in her parking lot and I'm like, yes, please, I will buy your casserole every Wednesday. Like taking one meal off my plate, plus I'm blessing another homeschool mom. Like it's incredible. Finances. Do you pay the bills? Okay. That could be something that you could put all together. What are the steps you do? How do you track your budget? Those kind of things. Up at the top, you notice I put focus days. So for me, it helps me to go, okay, like this is my time that I do finances. This is my time that I order groceries in my week. That may or may not work for you. These are not like written in stone anywhere. And I hope that these little tidbits, there might be something that you're like, oh, I could try that, or that might be a good idea for us, or whatever. But these aren't like hard and fast rules. So I don't want to make you think you have to do this. And I'm going through all these and it's going to seem like a lot, but my goal is for you to pick one that you either can write an operating procedure for and hand it to someone else, or a video even, or that you can see that you can put a lot of these tasks together, and that will help you structure your time throughout your week so you're not always, what do I do now? And what's next? And did I pay that bill? And oh, I got to run errands. And oh, I got to do laundry. And all these things that we carry in our heads as homeschool moms, getting them in a designated time each week is so helpful. And then knowing what the procedure is for it. Home maintenance. Okay. You know the things I'm talking about. Oh, we got to change the batteries and the fire alarms and the things you don't do on a regular basis. Do you have that written down somewhere? Can you hand that off to somebody else? This takes so much time. Appointments, schedules, and events. Birthday parties. We're having like this retirement party for so on. Okay, now my child's in this show. So now what's their schedule going to be? Making doctor's appointments. It can all seem like so much, but I know that on Thursdays at 1 o'clock is my time that I make appointments. And I call people all in one block. I hate calling people on the phone. Like making appointments is like the worst thing. I do not know why. I love when I find a doctor or a hairdresser or something and they're like, oh, you can schedule in the app. Yes. Okay, tangent. But I try to do all of those kind of activities all at one time. Communications, cleaning out your emails, listening to your voicemails, calling people back. Travel and fun coordinator. See, I don't want to give this up, but if this is something that you don't particularly care to do, you can write a procedure for it. Ask somebody else. Oh, we have a trip that we need to plan. Does anybody know any travel agents in the area? Oftentimes, travel agents get paid from the hotel or the destination. You don't actually have to pay them. When I found this out, I was like, they could book the whole trip and make like a Google slideshow for me, and I don't pay them. Like Disney pays them. This is fantastic. How did I not know this existed? So I'm just sharing this with you in case you need this. Okay, errands. I try to batch those as much as possible, but you can also get help with those. And again, it's allowing yourself to be creative. So I know your brain is, no one could help me with these things. And you're like, that's impossible, Julie. But like I told you, like when I open myself up to the possibility, like there are people that can help me. Please, God, there's got to be somebody. And he just brings people. Okay. There's retired people in your neighborhood that can help with this kind of stuff. There are teenagers that have cars that can help with some of this stuff. They could come be like a mother's helper. They can help with cleaning and laundry. And they think it's fun because it's not their house. So they're enjoying it. They're getting paid some money and you're getting a break too. And those people are usually really reasonable. If you have a friend who loves to shop, I hate shopping. I really do. I'll say, hey, while you're out shopping, I'm looking for this. Let me know if you find it. Okay. So I don't have to do the shopping. Online shopping has saved my life. Anyway, car maintenance. What is your procedure for that? Who do you go to? Who do you call? Keeping all those documents. Where are you keeping them? Family meetings. Okay. This is so important to take some of these things off your plate. Remember I said one of the ingredients of harmony is being prepared. Every Sunday, we call it a fam bam, and it literally takes 15 minutes, but we sit down with a big weekly block. You can literally do this on construction paper. You don't have to buy anything. And okay, what's happening on Monday? What's happening on Tuesday? Oh, what time do you have to work on Wednesday? You need the car. When you get teenagers, it's like you need a degree in logistics that can't drive. So it's like, you need to go here and you need the car, but then you need the car for this. If I had to do that on a daily basis, I would go crazy. So it's okay on Sundays, and I tell them, like, no spontaneous plans. We set the schedule on Sunday. So if you want to go hang out with, don't tell me 30 minutes before you want to go over to the house. Not like in our neighborhood, if it's going to involve me traveling or doing something. Okay. And not that I'm never can be spontaneous. I hope I'm not giving that impression. So there's times where I'm like, oh, yeah, actually, I'm not doing anything right now. You want to go to his house? Okay. I think that might work. Like, I can be flexible, but it's not that I'm always being blown by the whims of my kids. And then a daily tidy. So having some kind of procedure for at the end of the day, at the end of school, how do you go around to just tidy things up quickly? Again, writing the procedure or even having one. So if you don't have any systems for these things and they're just like, they just come when they come, think through it, talk to your spouse, be like, hey, like maybe we need to have a finance meeting once a week. When could we do that? I notice there's like lots of toys and stuff around. Like, what could we possibly do every evening to tidy some of these things up? Could we get some baskets? Be creative. And if this isn't something that comes easily to you, talk to other people. I know there's people who are like really gifted at this kind of thing. But once you have some sort of system, or you have a day that you know that, okay, this is the laundry day or whatever, however you do it in your house, write out those steps. Y'all, I have not done any other people's laundry other than my own in the past 4 years. So my youngest son is 14 since he was 10. Like they've all done their own laundry. Once they're 10, I'm like, okay, because I have trained them in this is how you do laundry. Okay. And then gradually release the responsibility and then they have the procedure to follow. But sometimes we get so frustrated with our kids because we're trying to get them to take over some of these chores so that we can feel less pressure on ourselves. But then we don't actually give them the tools or the systems to be successful in it. And then it creates more stress for us. So if you want to be able to empower them, first, you need to come up with some sort of system for yourself, right? And something that's working for you. And then you can write it out, video it, whatever, so that you can share that with someone else. It's also really helpful if, let's say something happened and you like were out for a month or like you were sick or something like that, like to have these things in place that you could just hand to somebody to go, oh yeah, here's how I do those things is so helpful. And as you're able to be creative and maybe get some support or God provides that, if you're like, and this is used to happen to me, people like, please let me know how I can help you. I want to help you. And I'd be like, yeah, I don't even know what I would ask you to help me with or what I need help with, or it would take way too much work for me to explain what I need help with because I was carrying it all up here in my head. And so by getting to write some of this out, like people ask, oh, how can I help you? Oh, I know exactly what you could help me with. Here's a Google Doc or here's a video link of how I do pay my bills or how I do my car maintenance. And you can easily hand this off to other people. So I'm going to stop with the family thing, but I hope that this isn't overwhelming. Pick one thing, one SOP out of all these things that you're carrying around on your plate. Wouldn't it be great just to get one of them off? So maybe by the end of the school year, like the end of May, what's one thing you could write down that you do on a daily basis or a weekly basis? Like I grocery shop every week. Maybe even just making like a standard grocery list. Like here's the things we buy on a regular basis. Here's the things I like to keep in the pantry stocked would also be helpful. Or what is a solution for this? Out of these, what's one thing that you're like, man, if I could get that off of my head, that would be so very helpful. And maybe there are apps or friends or neighbors or someone who could help you make that even easier for you. So it's about being creative and being willing for possibilities. All right. Thanks for listening to today's episode. I hope it gave you some practical tips and encouragement. Let's recap with some key takeaways. So number one, balance isn't perfection. Balance doesn't come from checking every box or marking off everything on your to-do list. Balance is how you feel. Number two, your expectations matter. Unrealistic expectations are one of the biggest piece stealers in your homeschool. So you need to get clear on what really truly matters. Number three, small habits create big calm. Nourishing practices can help you recenter even on the most chaotic days. Number four, preparation brings peace. Just 5 minutes of planning out your week can shift everything from frantic to focus. Make sure you schedule time to prepare for the week. Number five, let support in. You don't have to do everything. You can delegate, ask for help, and you can release control without feeling guilty. Number six, embrace your loving leadership role in your homeschool with calm confidence. You don't need to negotiate every decision. You can come from a place of healthy authority in your home. And then last but not least, systems equal sanity. Start creating simple systems, aka standard operating procedures for your reoccurring tasks, whether it's laundry or lesson planning. So you can stop reinventing the wheel every time and you can start sharing some of the mental load. Okay, here's one action step to take away from today's episode. Pick one thing in your home or homeschool that feels like such a huge mental load for you, and then create a simple written or video procedure for it, and then hand it off. Empower your kids, delegate to a helper, or Just be creative in some way to lighten your load. Remember, let's stop chasing balance and let's start building it one step at a time. Thanks for tuning in. Hey there, Julie Ross here. I just wanted to say thank you for listening to today's episode. If you like this show, it would mean the world to me if you would leave a positive review in iTunes. This really does help people learn about the podcast. And each month I will pick a winner to receive a free gift. Don't forget to check out all the free resources we created for you at thefeastlife.me. Thank you.